Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review, we are looking at the Spider-Man Marvel Legends Sandman Build-A-Figure Wave Shocker. Now you guys probably have heard me mention that Shocker is one of my all-time favorite Spider-Man villains. I don't know why, but I really like the character despite his maybe poor choice in names and maybe somewhat less serious character, but I really like him. I don't know why, but I do. So I was very, very excited to see that they're having a new Shocker figure. The old one looked great, but couldn't be posed and had that silly gimmick. So very exciting for Shocker fans to get a new figure. Unfortunately, this guy might be the worst figure in the batch. It's very disappointing. He does have some good things about him, but all in all, it's mostly disappointing. So let's go ahead and get him off the stand and take a closer look. This guy stands just about 6.5 inches tall, which makes him just about 16.5 centimeters, and he's basically Bucky Cap, which means he still has really fat ankles and small feet, and we've seen this mold about 1 billion times, so it's lost its luster, and you know, compared to newer molds, it's just not as good. Let's take this one for instance. This new mold, which could have easily been implemented on Shocker, would have been so much nicer, and they didn't do it. Look at that, Bucky's ankles are just as fat, even though he's a lot thinner of a whatever. You guys get the idea. The Bucky figure is definitely dated at this point, and we've seen it way too many times, so it's very disappointing that they used it. Anyway, let's talk about the details of the figure. The paint job on him is okay. Most of the red line work is okay. We do have some issues throughout where the yellow is just very mushy, doesn't look great. The lines themselves, when I say that line work, I say that's very clean, but the line work on the red suit is not. So that's kind of disappointing. We do have these new gauntlets, which are pretty well sculpted, and they have that nice metallic silver on there, so that's cool. We have these new knee pads, which just look weird. They're glossy gray with no shading or anything, and it looks very strange. It's off-putting. Maybe in the comics, somehow they drew them to be glossy, but I've never seen it with knee pads on like that, so I don't know. But I don't like them. They look goofy. They look very out of place on this figure. And this particular paint job, I have to say, makes the Bucky Cap mold look way bad. It doesn't suit the mold. It makes him look kind of skinny, and like up here very skinny, and then rather bulky down here in the legs. It's kind of like when you wear an outfit that doesn't suit you for whatever reason. That's what this looks like. It's kind of disappointing. Last thing that disappoints me about this guy is his winky face. They painted the eyes with a nice black outline and this pearly white paint, which would have been cool, but his open eye is very round, almost Deadpool-esque, and then his winky eye, his closed eye, is very tiny. So neither of those really looks great. Something in the middle should have been on both sides rather than having one big one and one little one. It's very, very strange looking. The head is sculpted, by the way, this red part up here, so that's kind of nice, and the head sits way too high on it. I don't know, guys. This is just a very lazy Shocker figure. I feel like they didn't feel like putting effort into it. They just took Bucky Cap and added a couple of things and said Shocker, and it's no shocker that it's not very good. We do have two accessories which aren't very good. They are the same things we've seen before, which, I mean, that's okay, except they don't snap on very well and tend to break, but the paint job on them's cool. However, I remember Shocker's shockwaves almost always being bluish white. Someone confirmed that. I don't know if that's universally true or not. Maybe some have been yellow, but I don't care for the yellow and orange. It just doesn't look right to me. But then again, the original Shocker toy, or at least the one I had as a kid, had red ones. So I don't know. Those are okay, but they're not going to save this figure from being mediocre. I'll run through the articulation real quick, even though we've seen it before. We have the ball peg on top of the hinge. So you can look all the way up, look all the way down, side to side. Just look how big that neck is compared to the head. It's almost the same size, and it's just not good. I'm so bummed out. The rest of this wave is so nice, and then this guy comes out, and it's just meh. That's the noise I made when I first saw it. Didn't really. Anyway, ball hinge for the shoulders all the way out. We've seen this all 1 billion times. It all works fine. Bucky Cap's a decent generic mold, but I think it's run its course. Leans back not so far. I feel like it used to go farther. Doesn't want to go for some reason. Does go forward though, so that's okay. Waist twist, thighs or hips go all the way forward. They do go pretty far out to the side relative to the current figure, so that's a good thing at least. Thigh swivel's fine. Double jointed knees work fine. We do have a shin swivel on his super thick ankles and calves. Calves are actually fine, but the ankles are just really poorly sculpted. And his little tiny feet, which Bucky Cap is known for, they do work exceptionally well, though. They go pretty far forward, all the way back, and we have an ankle rocker. It's time to retire this, guys. Shocker should have definitely been on that mold. That is such a superior mold in every aspect. Very disappointed that we got another Bucky Cap mold and that it was one of my favorite characters. Oh well, I mean, it's a nice addition, I guess, if you want a Shocker that doesn't have to stand in a weird pose, but all in all, it's pretty disappointing, so I'm not altogether pleased with it, and other than the fact that it's Shocker, it would have been an easy pass. So that's what I'm relaying to you guys. If you really want a Shocker figure, get it. Otherwise, take the pass. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. I have new videos up every single day. We talk about action figures, movies, TV shows, video games, all kinds of fun stuff. So you want to see all that? If you want to see all that, turn on notifications. Click that little bell, put the little check mark in there, and you will be set. You'll see everything you want to see. And in the meantime, you can keep collecting.